when you're bouncing back and recovering from the holidays and you step on the scale and you see that you've gained 5 or 10 pounds,
Oh, yeah.
don't punish yourself.
Panic.
Don't panic. Don't punish yourself. Just get back to the habits. You don't need to go and do 2 hours of cardio every single day. You don't need to starve yourself. You need to fuel yourself with good things and do good things for your body. If you love your body will love you back. Don't punish your body. Love it.
Welcome to another episode of Purify and Beautify, the podcast that shows you the other side of beauty. Every week, we interview the experts in the world of beauty, health, and wellness so that you can make an important decisions that are right for you. My name is Noura Bouchama.
And I'm Linda Yates. This week we have one of our amazing guests returning to the show, Cameron Excell. He's with us today to talk about how our habits during the holidays can impact our health. And more importantly, what we can do to recover once the holidays are over. But just so you know, this podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice.
If this is your first time listening to Purify and Beautify, welcome. We are so happy to have you. If this isn't your first time, we hope you follow and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app and share the show with someone who can benefit from all of the amazing knowledge. Now, let's get into the interview. Cameron, thank you for joining us on Purify and Beautify.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me back, actually.
Well, the holidays are a time of the year where our typical health routines got disrupted. People don't have time to go to the gym. They want to indulge themselves in the holiday foods, and lots of people travel. Many people are looking to reset after the holidays so they can get back on a healthier path. Can you start by explaining what happens to us when we start incorporating more sugary processed food in our diets?
Oh, when you start. Okay, so sugary processed foods. So I'm not always the fan of this explanation, but it seems to communicate really well. But think of your body as an engine, like a car engine. And when you're putting in a lot of sugar and refined sugar and processed foods, it's kind of like you're putting in dirty gasoline into your engine, and it kind of starts to clump things up, sticks to the sides. It doesn't, inject fuel as well. So basically, the way that it works with us is that it just kind of clogs down our metabolism a little bit. So our body isn't running as optimally as it could. And, a little bit here and there, treats here and there, it's not that big of a deal. But when, you reach kind of the end of the year, usually starting around Thanksgiving, it just becomes, treats and sugar and pies and cakes and cookies. And it's just kind of becomes a little bit more frequent where you're having it multiple times throughout the week as opposed to maybe once in a while during other times of the year.
Yeah, that's a great point, Cameron. It's natural to want to indulge, though, during those holidays. And this podcast is really about helping people make their own decisions. So we don't want to tell anyone not to enjoy their favorite treats around this time of year. But what can someone who is eating a little more sugar than usual do to balance it out? And the other question with that, is there anything we can do diet-wise to help our bodies even process that sugar?
Yeah, so what it really will come down to is that you want to maintain the habits that you should already have in place. So you should still have some sort of resistance training in place. You should still be doing, at least 5 30-minute walks throughout the week, cardio sessions, staying active, moving. The worst case scenario is you're adding in all these additional calories, these processed foods, but then just sitting on the couch and going into that food coma and that food stupor. So usually what I recommend for my clients personally is even on the holidays, you're going to have like some free foods or some cheat meals or indulge a little bit, is try to do some exercise before, go to the gym, get that out of the way, then enjoy your time with your family, enjoy some of those treats. But the way to mitigate that damage is honestly staying active and staying in control where you can. So still try to eat as many of the good foods as possible. And on days where you don't have the parties, try to limit the amount of sugary foods that you're having and avoid snacking. Stick to the normal kind of everyday things as much as possible to maintain that normalcy.
While staying healthy is for sure important during all the time, but during the holidays especially. Is eating a lot of processed foods affect our gut health? And if it does, what can we do to reset that? Like get our guts back on track?
Yeah, so it really does affect your gut health quite a bit, especially if you're not used to these foods and you don't eat them regularly, because our body always adapts to the things that we introduce to it. So as you get into exercising, you might get sore initially, but then you notice that as you do it more consistently, the soreness goes away. The same thing is with your gut. If you're used to eating certain foods, your body gets optimized for eating those certain foods. That's why we want to eat a more optimal diet, make sure that we're getting all the nutrients, the fiber, the phytonutrients from vegetables and fruits that we need in order to maintain a good gut biome. But when we have a lot of that processed foods, it can sometimes affect the bacteria where certain things get
Mm.
overgrown, and when anything is not in the right amount in your gut, you start to experience side effects like bloating, gas, indigestion, things along those lines. And if it continues for a long time, it could actually start to affect hormones and hair quality, skin quality. For women, your menstrual cycle, it could end up affecting that. Whether you're having severe menstrual cycle symptoms or whether you start to experience amenorrhea early or the loss of a period. These things can all kind of come through poor gut health. So the best way to maintain your gut through the holidays is like I've said previously, is try to keep it to a minimum. Try not to be eating sugar cookies every single day of December. Um, but beyond that, one thing that you can always make sure to do uh, is after periods of stress like this, after maybe the holidays, is doing something a little bit more holistically, where you go through a kind of gut and liver detox and reset. It's a few simple supplements like some milk thistle, some tudka, and then a really good probiotic, just to try to kind of clear out any kind of accumulated inflammation and potential damage to the gut lining, and then be able to kind of reset it. There's a lot that kind of goes into here and a lot of things that you can do. One other thing that you can also take into effect, that I've recently learned about that is really, really beneficial, is actually applying the principles of fasting a little bit throughout your lifestyle as well, whether that takes form as a once a month fast, or once a week doing a 3 day 72-hour fast, or just increasing the periods between your eating windows so that you're not just snacking on sugar all the time, but actually give time for your gut to clear out food before reintroducing more food so it can rest. Because when the gut rests, that's when it repairs itself. That's when it takes care of itself. And we do have natural processes to be able to maintain gut health. Back through human history, we didn't always have supplements that we could buy over the counter to take care of digestive health. We didn't have probiotics. We just had food, and we had our habits with food. So one of those habits that we can always adapt and put in is increasing the window between eating periods to allow the gut to actually rest. And that's one thing that you can do. So instead of snacking all day throughout the day, try to actually have eating windows where it's, breakfast, 3 hours later, a little snack, 3 hours later, spacing it out just a little bit more.
So I guess the point that you just made is that our metabolism can bounce back after all this splurging, right? If we start working out and changing that diet and eating better. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, 100%. So our bodies are meant to handle stress. It doesn't do well with chronic stress, but little stressful events like this, where like maybe there's a little bit of overeating or some processed foods, as long as we bounce back and we get back to normal healthy habits, there's typically no issues. But the main thing is just making sure that we get those healthy habits in place, resolve any issues that might have already been present that we've just accumulated through life before we started to try to be healthier, and then just practice a few things just to keep it in line and to keep it healthy. But yes, it's always your body's able to adapt. It is able to bounce back. One thing that I would like to just touch on real quick, when you're bouncing back and recovering from the holidays and you step on the scale and you see that you've gained 5 or 10 pounds,
Oh yeah.
don't
Mm-hmm.
punish yourself.
Headache.
Don't panic. Don't punish yourself. Just get back to the habits. You don't need to go and do 2 hours of cardio every single day. You don't need to starve yourself. You need to fuel yourself with good things and do good things for your body. If you love your body will love you back. Don't punish your body. Love it.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. Don't punish your body.
that's a great.
That's really a nice line. I think I'm going to adopt that one. Actually, I want to go back, touch base on something you have mentioned that people after the holiday would like to go in like cleanness or extreme diet measures. Like they can even go vegan or keto for January just to like balance back. I'm not a big fan of extreme measures. I don't think that our body can handle it nicely. But what would be your advice to people who want to do that, just to do it healthy, in a healthy way, in a safe way, in a sustainable way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to, the whole January New Year's resolution, wanting to get in shape, get healthy, I'm totally supportive of that. But when it comes to extreme measures like diets, specifically diets with names, it seems to be diets that have a specific name, like keto or carnivore or vegan, paleo. They tend to be less optimal. What we should focus on is just eat healthy, nutritious, whole foods. Try to avoid processed foods on a day to day basis. If you look at something that you bought at the store and you can't pronounce the words on the ingredients list, it's processed. So try to avoid how much you're having of that. Single, ingredient items, potatoes, rice, chicken, beef, cucumbers, zucchini, apples, bananas, all those things are good for you. If you can just have that as like your main thing that you're eating, like you'll do great. You'll improve your health. There's no reason to completely cut out all carbohydrates or to only eat fats or anything like that. If you have a balanced diet, your body will love it and it will respond. If it isn't responding, that's where it's like, let's take a look at deeper into blood work and digestive health, because if your body is healthy, it will respond to feeding it whole foods, and you will see more energy, weight loss, muscle mass increase, and just generally everything in life improves.
That's better. I love that. So, have you noticed any trends with people getting really motivated to get to the gym in January? And in your work as a coach, how do you help people stay motivated? That fire that hits January, and then maybe by end of January they're starting to not show up as much, or February, Valentine's comes around, they've blown it.
Yeah. So the thing that I teach a lot of my clients and that I stress is that motivation will not get you to a finish line. Consistent habits will, dedication will. Having the ability to show up on hard days, being diligent will help you to get to that finish line, because 100% it's going to happen. You're going to be super motivated at the beginning of the year. You watched a crazy motivational fitness video or read something that was super motivational, or you joined a group or something, but eventually you're going to go to work, you're going to have a really hard day, you're going to be mentally wiped out, and you're not going to want to go to the gym that day. But the problem is that if you start giving yourself excuses, you'll continue to find excuses. And it's okay if you show up to the gym and maybe you don't have the best workout or you aren't that motivated to do cardio, but just by promising yourself that I'm going to show up and do what I can do, you will make progress and you will eventually get to where you want to be. But don't give yourself excuses, because it's easier to be 100% committed than 98% committed. because that 2% is going to just continue to grow until you're 3 months into the year, you've stopped going to the gym, you don't care, you're picking up McDonald's on the way home from work because it was a really stressful day, and you've just fallen back into old habits. So don't rely on motivation. Rely on consistent effort, on diligence, and being diligent to where it is that you ultimately want to end up.
I think you're talking to me. So thanks.
All of us.
I'm talking to myself too, because I'm not always motivated either, but you still have to show up on those hard days.
So what I'm hearing you say, don't eat your feelings up. Just come to the show and burn them off. To the gym and burn them off.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a little bit healthier of a way to do it. Is to try to find different outlets for emotions than food. The best way that I can express it is that food is not an antidepressant drug. It is not a therapy session. Food is meant to fuel our bodies, and it's only been since a couple, I don't know, ever since like the Industrial Revolution and food production has really accelerated, that we've been able to start to use it whenever we're feeling sad or whenever we're having a hard day. Previously, we didn't have to deal with that, and we had to deal with it through other ways. But you can 100%, if you eat your emotions, you will end up overeating. You will end up gaining unneeded weight, and you will end up having to face health consequences eventually down the line. It might not be immediate, but if you don't confront it and stop using food as a band aid for emotions, it will catch up with your health. So if you're having a hard time, if you're going through a lot in life, please reach out to friends. Please reach out to somebody, a licensed therapist, your doctor. There's ways to help. There's ways to work through it that don't involve overeating and abusing your body.
Well, and I know there is a lot of our listeners that agree with that, and they really don't want to go to the extreme measures of doing extreme diets or go overeating. But if we want to create like a balanced system, like a balanced diet, a balanced workout. We've talked before about the supplements that we can take to help our bodies in the last episode. We will have the link for it in the comments below the show. But how would you help someone like to start with a balanced, more easy uh, system to reset in January?
What I would do personally and what I do with my clients is I take a look at where their life is right now, and then I build a custom plan that actually works for them. We don't go online and search like what does X famous actor do to get in shape. You have to look at yourself as an individual and see how often are you able to eat throughout the day. What does your day look like? When can you go to the gym? How much time can you set aside on a daily basis for yourself to take care of your health by either cooking or exercising? What ways can you adapt things? And it's going to be different and individual based on the person. Some people have more time. Some people don't have as much time. Some people don't have children at home and they haven't started their family. Some people have 3 or 4 kids at home that demand their time and their attention. And so it's all a balancing act, but it's a really individual thing. The main thing that I would say is find what works for you. That's the least stressful thing, and start implementing it. There's always something that you can do, and a lot of people, especially people who have families and are raising children, do find that it is a lot harder, and they tend to bring up the whole energy and that they don't have energy to do things. What I can guarantee you is if you start eating healthier, you will notice that you have more energy. And as you lose weight and unneeded body fat and lower inflammation levels, you will once again see more energy and have more energy to put towards the things to continue to take care of your body and be around for your family for a long time.
That was a great point.
I have heard a lot of people saying, especially moms who have young children, that I get my workouts like running behind my children or doing things with my kids. What do you think about that?
I think you get half of a workout potentially. I would definitely say, put a pedometer on or an Apple Watch or something that tracks how much you're moving. But there's two components to a complete um, exercise routine. There does need to be resistance training in there as well. And as
Mhm.
much as I wish that just picking up your kids and carrying them around counted, it's not. There's a lot of muscles that you miss just doing that.
Excuse me.
So I'm not saying that you have to become some sort of professional bodybuilder or anything like that and be at the gym every single day for 4 hours a day. All it takes at the bare minimum is some at home equipment, some dedicated time, maybe 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. You can do body weight exercises. You can use dumbbells, kettlebells, weighted balls at home. Um, but you can train your body through simple means at home if you really are constrained that much that you can't leave home. But you just need, I mean, not even 30 minutes, maybe just 15 minutes, 3 to 5 times if you're really executing well to be able to take care of that other half of the actual exercise routine.
I love that. So last question, Cameron. One thing a lot of people struggle with during the holidays is guilt over on overindulging too much in sweets or not making it to the gym enough. That is me right now. What would you say to someone out there who is dealing with some of this guilt?
I would say that it's in the past and to don't let the past control your life. Look at what you can do today. Look at what you can do tomorrow morning. Don't look too far into the future. Too far into the future, you get anxiety. But look at immediate steps that you can take within the next 24 hours to change your habits or to go. If you're finding that you don't have the motivation to go after work, try going before work. If you're find that like if you try to go home, change, and then go to the gym, that it's not working out, take your gym clothes with you and just change at the gym. Um, don't beat yourself up. Just look at what you can do. And also, the holidays don't last forever. So there's no reason to overstress about it. Um, do what you can. Don't beat yourself up because beating yourself up and stressing yourself out is only going to make things worse.
Love it. Thanks again for coming on the show today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
It was great speaking with Cameron Noor. There were a lot of takeaways for me, but I guess it's very personal for me. I am feeling very guilty right now because I'm in school. I've just started another job and finals are around me and I am not getting my workouts in. So I love the fact that he said, don't look back. Just look to today, look to tomorrow, and just do what you can. I even like the idea of 15 minutes to, even start again. And so those were some of my big takeaways.
Well, for me, it was more of a hit than takeaway. I always thought that running behind my kids was enough workout for me. Well, now I have to put 10, 15 minutes a day away. I don't know where we can find them, but I think we should find them somewhere.
Yeah.
Taking care of ourselves is the way to take care of our loved ones. That's my big goal and like my life way.
Yeah, it's your mission right now.
Yeah. We want to thank you for listening to Nourify and Beautify, where we show you the other side of beauty. If you want more information about us or read our blog, check us out at unify-beautify.com. I'm Noura Bouchama.
And I'm Linda Yates. See you next time.
The mission of Nourify and Beautify is to help you understand whether beauty, health, and wellness products are effective and safe so that you can make decisions that are right for you. When you follow, rate, and share the show, you help us do that, and we really appreciate it.
If you haven't been over to our YouTube channel, you can watch our interviews there. And we'd love it if you would leave us a comment to let us know how you feel about the show. If you want to learn more about the show, read our blog, and don't forget to check out our website, nourify-beautify.com. This podcast is produced by TSC Studios, and our music is from Soundstripe.